All right, boys, we are back, and it's time to continue year one with our San Jose Sharks. We're all the way up here at the trade deadline with a pretty good record, 40, 18, and 4. And the last video, I was asking you guys if there's any changes, trades, line changes that we should make. Even though our record is that good, in the NHL, there's only one team that's better than us right now. That's the Montreal Canadiens. They got 90 points. We are second with 84, but we are first in the Western Conference. So, do we really want to change a good thing, right? I was reading your comments, and for the most part, the changes that you guys were suggesting were to the second or third line. The defensive core, I didn't see too much, and I agree the defensive core is fine, especially for this year. We're waiting on Shattenkirk to get a little bit better and see what happens with Dan Boyle in the offseason. Maybe if he retires, make a trade for another defenseman. We can do that next year. Oh, excuse me. Don't worry about that. But when it comes to the second or third line, you guys were saying maybe possibly go out there and get like a guy like Steve Ott for the third or fourth line, or go out there and get like a Thomas Vanek for the second line right wing. The problem with those two things is that players that are already playing on this team lose their spot. And right now we're playing very good and everyone's got some pretty good stats, especially the third liners. They may not be scoring as many points as third liners could, getting 30, 35, even 40 points a season. But look at this, Tyler Kennedy, +3 with 16 points, right? This is why I got all these two-way forwards on the third line for the defensive aspect. Vladimir Sobotka, +5, 14 points, right? So again, they're not close to the 30 points that they could on the third line. But look, Tommy Wingles, he's gotten a lot better as well, and he's now 80 overall, +7, 12 points, right? So that third line is doing pretty good down there. The fourth line is doing fine as well. And Thomas Hertl, I want to play this guy this year and see what he turns into for next year. If he's not good enough next year, if he stays like at 80 overall, 81 overall, maybe he becomes a trading asset in the offseason to really bolster up that second line and give us a player who's a second liner who turns into a first liner when Patrick Marleau and Joe Thornton take off and he can play alongside of Logan Couture. But for this year, I wanted to give him all the chance in the world to get as many points and improve his stats so that he maybe does get a good jump in the offseason. Because if he jumps up to like 83, 84, that's our top six again for next year and we're fine, right? But I don't want to move Thomas Hertl off the second line, even though Thomas Vanek might be, obviously he's a higher overall. It would look like he would give our team a better chance, but our team is playing good right now. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm not going to touch anything. I wanted to make some trades for some depth, but you know what? We really don't have many trading assets. We don't have anything at all. I've already done some pre-scouting. Like a guy like, I'll just bring it up for you guys. A guy like Thomas Vanek, right? It's just way too much trading value right now. We would have to give up something that is a part of this team just to get him back. And why do that? Why even make that trade? There he is, Thomas Vanek. They do want to give him up. The salary cap's not a problem because I think we have enough room for him. Yeah, well, actually, let's say I just put Nieto out there. Yeah, okay. So it would be able to go through. But like Nieto for Vanek, that wouldn't even go through, so you'd have to give up something else as well. Obviously, if you're trading for Thomas Vanek, then somebody on your top 12, they're not going to be playing anymore. So is it, Tyler Kennedy that takes off? Is it Wingle? So Tyler Kennedy then and Nieto for Thomas Vanek, right? We could try to do that, but does that make our team better? Because then Hertl's a third liner, Vanek's a second liner. And then does he take away points from the first line? It's just too many question marks with that kind of trade. To me, it doesn't improve our team. It does on paper, but will it affect us in the simulation negatively, right? I would have liked to trade for some depth, but I don't really see us having much to trade with here. Hang on. We need all these guys. Tierney we could trade with, I suppose, but I wouldn't want to trade him unless we're getting something good back, like, package him in a deal that brings a good player back. I don't want to just trade him for some depth right now. He's got 3 years left on a minor league deal. That trade value is decent enough, so I want to hold on to him. And then all these guys who are playing in the AHL, they have no trade value whatsoever. You won't get anything back. You could get some 4th and 5th round picks back for him. I don't need that, though. And I don't want to waste time doing that. Nieto I want to hold on to. He's the same thing. Trade value for the next 3 years. You could package him in a deal with Thomas Hertl, right? Like next year, if Thomas Hertl hasn't made the jump, where's Thomas Hertl? There's that trade value. You could tie that in with Nieto's trade value, and you can bring in a really good player with those two trade values. So that's what I'm holding on to those guys for. And then everything else, they got no trade value whatsoever. Yeah. There's no point. All right. So I think for this year we're gonna skip the trades. I would have liked to pick up. You know what? We're gonna try one thing though. I would have liked to pick up at least one more second round pick. I really want to stack up on draft picks this year because we can pick up a bunch of 3.5, 4-star players, right? So what I want to do is let me try something here. Forwards, centers. You know what? All skaters. The lowest trade value, right? The players that I know I don't want. Yeah, all these guys who are 2.5 star, I know I do not want. So we're just gonna get them all. Yep. And yes, this guy. I'll leave the guy who's 71 overall. He might be able to be used in the playoffs if we absolutely need it. But yeah, that's gonna kill us this year. If we have injuries to deal with, well, that's gonna kill us. But whatever. Yeah, I could trade you as well. So let's just go through every team here, and let's just see if there's a team with, what's it called? Room for 5 different players on their roster. Probably not, but let me just see. Alright, I can do this pretty quickly. Usually there's not a team with 5, but I can drop it to 4 right after and just check it. Because I can easily get a second round pick, and a bunch of these guys we know are trading away. So, hang on. Damn, yeah, never mind. I don't think I'm going to find a team with 5 roster spots. That is a lot. Hang on, maybe 4 or 3 might be able to get me. Nothing. Yeah, nothing. Alright, so let me take off 1. Maybe this way we'll go back the other way. There you go. Oh, New Jersey. There you go. That's perfect. Alright, so New Jersey can take 4. But they don't want to give up the draft picks. Alright, hang on. New Jersey, I'll remember that. Let me just go through the rest again. The best team would be a team like New Jersey, but again, a team that wants to give up their draft picks. New Jersey did not want to give up their draft picks, which makes it... It's like I'll only get like a 3rd round pick out of that. For sure. I won't get their 2nd. Hang on. Damn it, it's only going to be New Jersey, is it? Yeah. I think it's only going to be New Jersey. Maybe New Jersey's got some depth players that I could pick up for the playoff run as well. Yeah, it's only going to be New Jersey. All right, so do they have any depth here in New Jersey? Goalies, Martin Brodeur. No, I don't need Martin Brodeur. His trade value is a little bit too much, too. Skaters, Ilyash, he'd be more of a 2nd or 3rd liner, and his trade value is a little bit too much. Zidlicki. Ooh, Zidlicki. How many more years, though? Oh, 1 year. Just the reason I'm saying Zidlicki is his trade value is nice and low, and he's got decent. Like, hopefully I wouldn't have to use him at all, but it wouldn't be a bad pickup just for some depth. And same thing with Steven Giant. He's not really the greatest, but I mean he's better than certain players that I have for depth. So you know what? Let's try this. Zidlicki and Gianta. You know what? I don't even think that would go through without the draft pick. Let me just try this. Yeah, I'll try Zidlicki and Gianta for these 4 guys and a 4th round pick. Will it go through? Yeah, I didn't even think that would work. These players are worth nothing. That's why I wanted draft picks. No, I won't even get a depth player back for this. I gotta just get a draft pick. Yeah. All right, so I'll turn this 4th into like a 3rd or a 2nd. All right, let's see if we can get the 2nd. I doubt it. Will it go through? No. Let's see if we can get the 3rd. Will it go through? Wow, are you kidding me? All right, never mind. We're not getting even a 3rd from this. It's because New Jersey doesn't want to give up these picks. I can get a 4th and a 5th. Will it go through? There you go. All right. So just a few players that we know we were never going to use. All right, trade them away for some depth, and now we got a 4th and a 5th this year, and we got a bunch of draft picks, which will be good. So we can restock our lines, maybe get lucky in those 4th and 5th rounds. Right? Perfect. So there you go. Roster moves. I think it's just the AHL lines that need to be done now. Hang on. AHL. Yeah, there it is. AHL. Best lines for the AHL. I don't think that changed anything in the NHL. No, it didn't. There you go. Worcester. You guys were saying the name is Worcester. All right. Granberg. Yeah, everyone's okay. That's good. So we're good to go. It's going to be a little bit of an uneventful trade deadline, but there is something about the trade deadline I want to start doing for you guys, just because it actually does make a difference. And trades do happen at the trade deadline, but we're going to go into the trade deadline from now on, all right? And we're going to just skip them all because I know I'm not going to do anything, but we can take a look at all the other trades that the teams have made, all right? So watch this. Like, hang on. Trading, there it is. All right. What is this? Oh, that was our trade. Yeah, that was our trade. Columbus acquired a 1st-round pick and Curtis Lazar. Gabrick went to Ottawa. Woo, that's a big one. So Gabrick's in Ottawa with Spezza and Bobby Ryan. Shane Doan went to Philadelphia. All right. Phoenix got Lawton, a 3rd. All right. New Jersey acquired a first-round pick. What do they get back? Oh, for Yarmer Yager and Bryce Salvador for Washington. All right. Down here, was this? Oh, that was no. That was way ago. Yeah, that's not the no. Nothing else happened on the trade deadline. So that's some big trades right there. What was it? Marian Gaborik to Ottawa. That's good enough. I mean, I don't have to worry about that. I'm a West Coast team. That's some firepower there in Ottawa now, man. Anything else? Let's see. Jared. Oh, I saw Stahl, but no, it's Jared Stahl. It's okay. Sheldon Surrey. There's Sheldon Surrey getting traded. Yeah, that was it for that. Okay. Not all the time that there's big name players, but just even seeing Marian Gaborik's name, give you guys something to talk about. Because I always miss this stuff. There you go. And let's see. Another trades. All right, Weaver, Jared Stahl. Yeah, that was it. So, looks like Marian Gaborik was the big-time trade of the trade deadline. All right, so let's go to the end of the regular season. The last 3 games we'll go up to. I got to have a drink, so hang on one second. Ah, yeah, it's much better. And let's see what our final regular season record ends up being. First in the Western Conference, here's the game against Montreal Canadiens, and we won it. We only won it by 1, so it might have been an overtime or a shootout win. I'm not going to say that the President's Trophy is out of reach just yet, but, the Montreal Canadiens, if they want to win it, they can win it. They just got to win more games than we do. We got to hope that they can lose some games, you know what I mean? So, we'll see what happens here. Doing the right thing, though. There's 3 in a row right now. Come on, keep going, boys. There's 4 in a row. All right. 45, 19, and 4. Already have 94 points on the regular season. It's been a good first year here for San Jose. More of the same of what we've seen the last, 10 years in San Jose. Very good regular seasons. A very good team in the Western Conference. But it has to be done in the playoffs. That's what they're expecting now, right? So I'm glad I did not make any trades to this team. This team seems to be playing pretty well. Even if we lose some games now, it's still a good enough season that I'm confident enough with this team going into the playoffs. The thing that scares me about the playoffs is the injuries. If we start to lose players due to injuries, I do not have any players to back them up. That's going to be the year 2 team. The year 2 team is going to have all the free agents in the offseason and the extra trades that I can make to improve the depth, right? So the year 2 team will be more prepared for that, but hopefully we get some luck here in year 1. Other teams got to deal with it too, right? But I know we don't have any depth. Nieto's like at 71 overall. Defensively we got nobody. So well, hopefully we can avoid some major injuries. If any injuries happen, hopefully they happen to our bottom 6 or our bottom 6 defensemen. Players like that. All right, so Big Joe Thornton, Jesus, 94 points on the season already. This guy, he might win the Art Ross. Who knows? And we'll also keep an eye on the team standings with the new rosters that I put in. We'll see how realistic they look. Now remember, it's not the end of the regular season in the actual NHL right now, so teams could still switch around, but we'll see what happens. How many more games here? Is this the last 3? I think these are the last 3 right here. Yes, they are. So the last 3 games, we are on a 6-game winning streak right now. The San Jose Sharks are tearing it up. Let's see where we sit in the NHL. The the Eastern Conference, Montreal Canadiens are leading with 108 points. And in the Western Conference, we got 112 points. We've taken them over. So that game that we beat them, if we did beat them in regulation, that basically has given us the lead. If they won that game and we lost in regulation, they'd have 110 points. We'd have 110 points. So that was a big game right there. So, I mean, we can win this. If we can win 2 out of the last 3 games, unless they have more games than that, and unless they win all of them, that gives us a good chance. So, final 3 games, boys, come on, win 2 of them. Win 2 of them. First year President's Trophy, that would be a good one for us. I don't think I've ever had that in my GM modes, taking over a good team like this. Come on now, Anaheim. Oh, my God. Did we lose in overtime? I think we lost in overtime. I think we only had 2. Yeah, I think we lost in overtime. Come on, get a win. Colorado Avalanche, they look like a decent team there. There you go. All right, so an overtime loss and a win. Let's see. Montreal's got 112 points. We got 115. So we have 2 games. They have 2 more wins they got to get, at least. We can win this game. That puts them 3 games behind us. So this is a big one. This is a bit, you know what we'll do? We'll do a, we can do it. Real-time simulation. All right, will the San Jose Sharks on the road be able to take the President's Trophy in year one? Come on now, boys. First period. All right, that's good enough. Get a point. If you can get a point, that's good too. Second period. All right, come on now. Third period. Let's go, boys. This is the first time oh, there it is, Joe Pavelski. This is the first time I'm doing, they don't even have Smith in the net. Ribeiro scores on the power play. Come on, Niemi. Come on, boys. They don't even have... Oh, there it is. Jay McClement shorthanded. That's why I got him, boys. For the shorties. For the penalty kill. Oh, my God, McAllick. Come on. Just get me a point. 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 There you go. All right, we got a point. And we got the extra one. Kevin Shattenkirk. He gets the last goal of the season for the San Jose Sharks, and he gives them the win in overtime as well. Huge. That is huge. And I think that's good enough to give us that President's Trophy. I could be wrong, but still. Let's see what happens here. We'll simulate one day ahead just to see what the current scores are. Current scores are. Don't worry, we're going to do a whole season wrap-up here. The Atlantic Division, Montreal, they got 114. We got 117 points, all right? So they still have to win 2 more games to catch up to us. I'm pretty sure we have the lead. Let's see. Let's go ahead here. Come on. I think there is actually, it might be 2 more days of simulating. Oh, it might only be 1 more. Hang on, scouting assignments. Let me send them back out. So we were going after that goalie in the, what was it? Simliga, the Husso goalie? Yeah, there he is. He's only got, it's only saying potential is that low. And it doesn't look like he's going to start off amazing. I mean, that he's got a lot of green 60s, so it's not like he's going to start off at 81 overall. But if he's got the green star potential, the only thing is I can't tell. So we're going to leave it off. I'm not going to scout him anymore. We'll make that decision when we get to it. But even still, I don't really have much that I can move up the draft. Unless I want to give up some of my really good players, which I don't. Let's go OHL forwards. There you go. OHL's got a lot of good prospects. All right, so let's simulate ahead. There you go. So round 1, we got the Colorado Avalanche. And this has been a great year for the San Jose Sharks with 56 wins this season. I've been very impressed by what you've achieved. And I am hoping for more of the same moving forwards. Keep it up. Well, thank you very much. All right, so let's do a whole season wrap-up here. Don't worry about the time. This might be a bit of a longer video. But let me just switch over quickly. All right, that's much better. So here we go, season wrap-up. Yeah, because we didn't check out the point leaders, the goalie stats, or anything like that. And you know what? With the new goalie rotations, I want to see if it has been fixed. So we got everything to check out right here, okay? So let's start one thing at a time. We'll go progress reports. We'll see if there's anybody else who's jumped throughout the regular season. I doubt it. We got a team full of veterans. Tommy Wingles, he's jumped up to 80 overall. He already had that jump that we saw before. He's 16, all right? AHL, Oleksuk and Reed. We're not going to use those guys in the future anyways, but still, not bad. And then goalies, no, Satteri's grown a little bit, but no, okay. So really no growth on that team, and we are a veteran team. It makes sense. Now, stats. This is the big one. Team standings. Yeah, team stats for the season. Hang on. Yeah, team standings. That's what it is. All right, so team standings. First in the NHL by 3 points, 117. Very nicely done. Very good year. Goals for per game. Look at that. We're a goal-scoring dynamo threat. 3.17 goals for per game. We're above 3 goals for per game. That's a great stat right there. Goals against per game, and we are first in the NHL for goals against per game. So, I mean, this is a perfect combination coming into the playoffs. This is why we didn't make any trade to the trade deadline. Our team that we've created here just seems to be working perfectly. So this is awesome. Power play percentage, 19.9, third in the NHL. That's good enough for me. And penalty kill, this is a big one. I wish that was a lot better. But you know what? Even though our penalty kill is that bad, it's also, you know, our goals against is also first in the NHL. So like, I'll show you. Goals against per game, first in the NHL. So maybe our 5-on-5 is so good that the game has to somehow get goals against us. So the only way it can happen is when we're on the penalty kill, right? 82.7. But time shorthanded, we actually are top 10 for disciplined teams. So, you know, we don't have the greatest penalty kill, but we got the best goals against per game, and we don't take a lot of penalties. So it's not the end of the world. I would like to be a little bit higher in penalty kill because then we would be an amazing team. But still, we've got to watch out for that, though. Home record, 29-9-3. Away record, 27-12-2. And our last 10 coming into the playoffs, 8-1-1, which is even better. We're a hot team right now, right at the right time. So there you go. There's the team standings, player stats of the season now. Now, this is going to be interesting. This is my experiments. We've given them time to patch this game, all right? I got the new rosters. There should be no excuses why the goalie rotations have messed up some teams now. So this is going to be the official one. And if it's messed up, I'm going to make a video about it. So this is the footage that I'm going to use. So here we go. We'll go forwards first, all right? So Big Joe Thornton, 103 points. How long has it been since Joe has had a 100-point season? All right? It's not the assists. I mean, 68 assists is nice, but it's the goals. 35 goals for 21 plus. All right. Hell yeah. Hopefully he can continue this in the playoffs. But Joe Thornton, 100 points. Logan Couture, he was a point-a-game player on the first line left wing, so you guys were right about that. I would have liked to have him score some more goals, but you know what? It's fine. 24 goals. I'm just glad that he had the type of season that hopefully makes him get better. Up to a 90 overall, not down to an 88 overall, right? And a point-a-game season should do that, 84 points. So, great year for Logan Couture. Patrick Marleau on the second line, 63 points. That's more than enough for me. He didn't quite get the 70-point season that we've seen guys get on the second line, but still, he didn't have first-line power play time. He didn't have first-line 5-on-5 time, second line for both, and 27 goals plus 4. That's more than enough for Patrick Marleau. All right, so he had a great season. Brett Burns, only 63 points on that first line, but a 30-goal season. And again, I know you're going to have people saying that Brett Burns isn't getting it done, but it's almost like the same thing that happened in Quebec City. You got your Jonathan Huberdeau, you got your Yuri Kapitanoff, and you got your Jordan Eberle or your Noah Cogliano, who only gets the 30-30 season, and everyone thinks that he's not good enough, but yet the year is amazing. They're all plus 20s, and Joe Thornton had the 100 points, Logan Couture had 84. It doesn't matter if Brett Burns only... Shut the hell up, phone! I'm talking about something. It doesn't matter if Brett Burns only has 60 points, right? It doesn't matter at all. He's enabling those two other guys to have the kind of seasons that they've been having. And I think it's because of his very good defensive awareness and physical category and skating category. So I'm not going to say that Brett Burns has not done what I've expected him. He's had a 30-goal season on that first line. He's had a great year, so I'm going to leave it right there. Joe Pavelski, 60 points on that second line. That's a great year as well. So our top 5 players, the top 5 guys who we expect a lot from, every single one of them had 60 points or more. That's perfect for me. Thomas Hertl, though, only 44 points on that second line, and to me, that's not good enough. This is the thing I want to change for next year if this year doesn't go as well. But you know what? Even though he only had 44 points, we did, still win that President's Trophy. My point is, though, on that second line, he could be a little bit better. He almost had a 20-goal season, but 44 points still. That's not good enough for the second line for me. But at least he was still a plus 5. My point is, I think Marleau and Pavelski were taken down slightly just because Hertl wasn't good enough, right? That's all I'm saying. McClements, Kennedy... Yeah, these guys didn't have, actually, no. McClement had a really good season. What am I talking about? Yeah, McClement is fourth line, penalty kill time. He had 24 points, 12 goals. He must have had a lot of shorties. Let's see. 4 shorthanded goals for Jay McClement. That's good. That's good for him. Kennedy, 20 points. Sabatka, 20 points. All right. Wingles, 14 points. All right, so some good depth, but it was really covered by our best 5 players right there. Defensively, Kevin Shattenkirk, 51 points. This is what we want out of Kevin Shattenkirk. We want seasons like this so he can really jump. And, 51 points plus 18. He should get a good jump for next year. Dan Boyle, 41 points, so that's good enough for us. Vlasic, 37, all right. And man of the hour, I think, Niemi. If we had a goals against average first in the NHL, Niemi's got to have good stats. 2.17, 46, 16, and 2. And a save percentage of 92.68 with 4 shutouts. A little bit better the save percentage could have been, and the shutouts could have been a little bit higher, but you know what? I'm not going to complain. We need Niemi as our goalie, all right? He's our number 1. He's our starter, so he's got to get it done. So there you go. There's the stats. Now, let us check out all the stats for basically all the players in the NHL now. Now, this is going to be an interesting one. We'll check goalies at the end, right? Because I want to see if those have been affected this year. Forwards, all right, so Steven Stamkos. Now, remember, these are the... I I forgot to check out the teams. I'll check out the team standings again so we can check out which teams made the playoffs and which teams did not. All right, because we want to see with the new rosters. But the forwards, Steven Stamkos. So after the changes that I made, Steven Stamkos leading the team, and he's got 60-goal season, right? So with the changes that I made, Steven Stamkos, he got his 60-goal season. So that's what I'm talking about. You got to raise their shooting category up to 99 across the board so that they can get those kind of goals. Patrick Kane, 84 points, so a point a game. Let me go to points. There you go. Big Joe, Stamkos, Jonathan Toews, St. Louis, Backstrom, Giroux, Couture, Kane. Where's Crosby? There's Crosby. So he had the point-a-game season. So did Ovechkin. I know it's kind of low, but that's the whole reason why I raised these guys up, because I've seen them have like 60-point seasons, 57-point seasons, right? At least they're getting point-a-game seasons now, so that's good enough. Tavares, he's up there as well. Pacioretty, Datsuk, all right? So I don't know. It looks pretty good for the stats, at least, for the guys who are point-a-game players. All right. Joe Thornton, maybe he's a little bit too high up. I know the goals is a little bit high for Joe Thornton. But I didn't even touch his shooting category that much. I mean, it's high 80s. It's not even a 90 anywhere in there. Look at Jonathan Toews' shooting category. 90s across the board. And Joe had more goals. So, you know, I think Joe Thornton just had a really good year there. But at least Crosby and Ovechkin had point-a-game season. That's the big one. Crosby, Ovechkin, Kane, and Stamkos. And they all had very good years. So I'm happy with that. Let's see the goals. There you go. There's the goals. There's the assists. There's the points. All right. Defenseman. Let's see. Giordano, 53 points. Shattenkirk, 51. So it looks like Shattenkirk is not going to win that Norris Trophy by 2 points. Maybe even somebody else will win it. But still, that was a really good season for Kevin Shattenkirk. And now goalies. This is going to be the interesting one. All right, games played. There you go, finally. So it looks like they have fixed it, boys. I will say it officially here. All right, January 22nd, it officially has been fixed. It probably was fixed a long time ago, but you know, we didn't get to finish the Quebec City Ace Nordique, so I don't know if it didn't update when I was still in that game. But this is the first time we've done a simulation with the new tuner packs and everything, and it looks like there's a lot of goalies with plus 60 games played. You got Winnipeg, you got Vancouver, you got San Jose, you got Washington, you got Phoenix, you got Montreal, you got Nashville, you got Washington. Hopi. Did I say Washington already? Oh, I meant Varlamov. Yeah, Colorado. Sorry, yeah. Colorado. Holtby's Washington now. Lundqvist. There you Lundqvist. That's a big one. Good, good. You know what? I'm just going to spend some time here, go through some teams. Let's just see. Yeah, that makes sense. Holtby. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. That doesn't quite make sense, but yeah, I even made Jonathan Bernier better, 85 overall. I don't know, but you know what? There's one. Yeah, Bishop still didn't. Bishop was 85 overall. Lindback was 81. Even though I'll say this, Bishop has better stats than. No, yeah, he has better stats. He's got less games played. What the hell am I talking about? Never mind. All right. Yeah, that makes sense. They're both the same overall. Yeah, that's our goalie. Vokun. How did Vokun get more starts than freaking Fleury? I made Fleury 86 overall, Vokun 80 overall. Yeah, it's still messed up. It's still a little bit messed up. You got more what's it called, goalies getting up to that higher games played, which is good. Like Anderson, that makes sense. But then certain goalies that just get less games played than their backup shit. I don't understand it. Broder and Schneider, yeah, that makes sense. And you guys point out anything that you see too. That makes sense. I'm glad that the major goalies are making sense now. Yeah, that's fine. They're both the same overall. But like this, like how does Martin Jones get more starts than Jonathan Quick? He's 91 overall compared to a 79 overall. All right? I mean, if the LA Kings didn't make the playoffs this year, that's probably why. God, it's still bugged out. It still is. Yeah, Timmy Thomas got more starts than Markstrom. Yeah, Dubnik more than Brizgalov. Gustafsson 38 starts. Howard only 49. Even though Gustafsson lost 20. Lettinen, yeah, that makes sense. Bobrovsky, yeah, that makes sense. Varlamov, yeah, that makes sense. It seems like teams with goalies with like decent backup goalies will always take over for some reason. The teams with like a backup goalie like 77 or less, then it was okay. But teams like with like an 80 or an 82 backup goalie, it seems like it gets messed up a little bit. Like again, Godobin 79, so close to an 80, he gets 40 games played. 42 and 42, that makes sense, yeah. 79, all right, that's not bad. That's not horrible. There you go. That's better for Boston. All right, and then Hillary, yeah. You know, it looks better. It definitely looks better, but there was still some goalies in there I just don't understand. I purposely made those goalies better in the roster updates to give those teams a better chance. And not only did they not play, they probably the teams probably didn't make the playoffs because of it. So hang on, let's do a team standings again. Yeah, team standings. All right, so let's just go to the Western Conference first. So the Western Conference looks like this with my roster update: San Jose, Nashville, which is God damn it. Minnesota, LA, Calgary still made the playoffs. How the hell did the Calgary Flames still make the playoffs? Phoenix, yeah, Chicago, Colorado, I could understand that. Winnipeg didn't make it. St. Louis didn't make it, but remember, I stole Kevin Shattenkirk from them. Anaheim didn't make it, god damn it. Dallas, yeah, Vancouver didn't make it, god damn it. Edmonton, at least Edmonton was last. That I got right, but Vancouver and Anaheim, that really hurts. And how in God's name did Calgary make it? Now, hang on, I'll come back to that. Eastern Conference, Montreal, yeah, that's fine. Philly, yeah, that's fine. Tampa, yeah. Washington, yeah. Pittsburgh at least made it, yeah. You know what? The Eastern Conference doesn't look that bad. Columbus shouldn't be there, maybe. All right, but at least Ottawa could be better. You know, Boston should be a lot better. I don't know how to make Boston better. They're always crap. I don't understand it. I made their goalie better. They got a 94 overall defenseman. I made both their centers better. I have no clue. Detroit's a little bit low, but at least the Islanders and Buffalo are down here. Yeah, it's kind of realistic, but it's still kind of not realistic. Yeah, I agree. I tried to make it better, boys. Still not, though. What else do I need to do? Player stats. I did all that. I'm just trying to think. There was something else that I had on my mind right there. What was it? Oh, yeah. The Calgary Flames. I know you guys want to see. How the hell did the Calgary Flames make the playoffs? All right, they made the playoffs. I made their team so shit. It's probably Mike Camilleri, man. I'm telling you. It's just one player. That's all you need. All right, so the first line, it looks like they signed Prospel from free agency. But in 82, 81, and in 85, second line, it looks like they signed Simone Gagne as well. All right, so they did get some signings in there. 81, Backlund 80, Hoodler 83. They got some Curtis Glencross, Stajan, and Stepniak. That's not a bad third line. Gagliardi, Colbert, and they do have some depth. I'll give it to them there. They got some depth. Defensively, how? How did this team make the playoffs? All right, and then a goalie 73 and a 76. How did that team make the playoffs? Holy shiza beniza. And then a team like, hang on, let me just see a team like the Anaheim Ducks. Team like the Anaheim Ducks, 81, 90, 89, 80, 79, 81, 80, 80, 82. Now, they had some depth too here. They got depth on D, yeah, and then they got the two goalies. How did a team like Anaheim not make the playoffs and Calgary did? I don't freaking understand the simulation engine sometimes. Whatever. It doesn't matter. All right. So, last but not least, yes. Last but not least, I'll show you guys the playoff tree. There you go. You may be looking into the future. Probably not. There's a lot of teams that still shouldn't be here. But in the Western Conference, San Jose versus Colorado, that could be a playoff right there. LA versus Calgary, that's not going to happen this year. Nashville versus Phoenix, that's not going to happen this year. Unless Nashville somehow gets up to first. And Minnesota versus Chicago, yeah, that could probably happen. That's happened the last few times now. The Eastern Conference, Montreal versus Columbus. I don't think Columbus will get back in, but Montreal, first in the Eastern Conference, anything could happen. There's enough games left that they could do it. Tampa Bay versus Toronto, yeah, that seems like a pretty realistic series right there. Philly versus the New York Rangers, yeah, that could work out. And Washington versus Pittsburgh. You know, the Eastern Conference, except for the Columbus Blue Jackets, I'll say this, the Eastern Conference looks pretty good. Ottawa could be there, Boston definitely should be there, and Detroit could be there as well, but it doesn't look that horrible, the Eastern Conference. The Western Conference with teams like Nashville and Calgary, that's a little bit off, but you know what? I still think the rosters did pretty good with the individual player stats and the first year, standings. I still couldn't get freaking Calgary out of there. They still somehow did it. Watch them win the Stanley Cup. All right, that doesn't matter. So, in the next video, you're going to see your San Jose Sharks take on the young Colorado Avalanche. All right, I'll see you guys there and wish us luck.